Hello, you join me here at Witton Station on the Chase Line. The Chase Line has 17 stations, stretching from Birmingham New Street to Rugeley Trent Valley, calling at some stations such as Walsall, Hamstead and Rugeley Town. Now in this mini-series, I'm going to be looking at some of the facts which you may not have known about this line, starting from here at Witton and going to every station to Rugeley Trent Valley. In today's first episode, I'm going to be looking at the stations from here at Witton to Walsall, and we'll look at the stations from Walsall up to Rugeley in the final episode. So first, let's look at the history of the Chase Line and have a brief overview of the line before we start today's video here at Witton Station.
So yes, the Chase Line is a 17-station line from Birmingham New Street to Rugeley Trent Valley. The origins of the Chase Line lie with the Grand Junction Railway, who, in 1837, built the line from Birmingham to Bescot Junction, continuing to Wolverhampton. The line through to Walsall was opened 12 years later by the South Staffordshire Railway from Dudley through to Walsall, with a section from Walsall to Rugeley opening by 1859, with the South Staffordshire Railway being absorbed into the London North Western Railway by 1867. The line north of Walsall to Rugeley was closed in 1965 by British Rail to passengers, with the line remaining open for freight services. The line between Walsall and New Street was then electrified in 1966, but received a skeleton service until the 1980s. Eventually, the line north of Walsall was reopened to passengers between 1989 and 1998 by the West Midlands Passenger Transport Executive and the Staffordshire County Council. At this time, the name Chase Line was first given, due to its location in the Cannock Chase district. Since the reopening, passengers have flocked to the line, with service frequency being doubled from 1 train an hour to 2 trains an hour to Rugeley, and now 4 trains an hour serve Walsall to Birmingham, with the line to Rugeley being electrified in 2018, with electric services commencing from May 2019. That brings us to today, with a twice-hourly service currently operating between Wolverhampton and Walsall, and a twice-hourly service operating between Birmingham International and Rugeley Trent Valley, giving all the stations on the line at least 2 trains an hour to Birmingham. All services are currently operated by Class 730 EMUs, which are still relatively new, entering service in 2023. Prior to this, Class 350s, Class 323s, Class 170s, Class 153s, and even Class 150s were used on the line. Now though, it's time to get on with looking at the stations on the Chase Line, and the facts which you may not have known about. This series will see me tackle the stations between Witton and Rugeley, not New Street to Aston, as I've already covered these stations in the second part of my Cross City Line mini-series, link in the description below. Anyway, time to join me at the first station in today's video, Witton.
So Witton Station opened in 1876, which was nearly 40 years after the original line opened. The station is most known for being close to Villa Park, which is of course the home of Aston Villa Football Club, and the station is very, very busy on match days along with Aston Station nearby. In 2007, the owners of Aston Villa actually wanted plans to redevelop the station, including renaming the station to Villa Park, with the West Midlands Passenger Transport Executive not objecting to the plans, as long as it was paid for by the club and not by the West Midlands Passenger Transport Executive. However, it seems as though since then nothing's really happened to this, and the station is of course still called Witton. There's been plans for a long time to increase capacity at the station because there's not a lot of large walkways that passengers and football fans can use, so during match days the station can get absolutely heaving. Thankfully it's not a match day today. I do believe that new Mayor Richard Parker has promised upgrades to the station, but nothing is happening at the moment except for some workmen, which you might be able to hear, who I think are installing a new fence at the station. There did used to be a ticket office here, I believe it was this building behind me, but this was closed in 2013 by London Midland. On match days, West Midlands Railway run special shuttle services which terminate here at Witton and go straight from Birmingham and New Street. Usually these are formed of a 3 or 6 car Class 730. So it's good to see that West Midlands Railway are providing Witton with an additional service during match days. So that is Witton. The next station along the line though is Barr Station, which is quite interesting because it's basically a brand new station. Let's go to it.
Barr Station opened in 1837 by the Grand Junction Railway and is one of the oldest continuously operated railway stations in the world. The station was rebuilt in 1966 when the line was electrified, with the station building having several retail units and a sign saying British Rail Station on the entrance, which remained in place until the 10th of May 2021, when the station closed to be rebuilt in time for the Commonwealth Games in 2022, with the station being located nearby to the Hamstead Stadium and the Barr Stadium, as well as being nearby to the Hall Park, all of which were going to be used in the Commonwealth Games. The old station did not have the capacity to handle the projected passenger numbers for the Commonwealth Games, and was hence rebuilt to increase capacity. The station reopened in May 2022, a year and 19 days after closing. The old station was completely rebuilt, with a new station building featuring a bronze-coloured frieze, as well as installing new lift access, as well as a new ticket office and disabled toilet. The platforms have also been fully refurbished, and the station capacity has been greatly increased. The station only sees the Walsall to Wolverhampton services, not the Rugeley ones, bar 3 return services a day from Rugeley. 2 incidents have occurred at the station, both on the 22nd of December. One occurred in 1859 when a South Staffordshire Railway carriage suffered a tyre shed, killing 1 person and injuring several others. The second incident, in 1895, led to the death of a London North Western Railway guard who did not see a passing football train due to heavy fog.
So now that we've looked at Barr Station, it's time to look at the next station along the line of Hamstead. Hello, you join me at the next station along the line here at Hamstead Station. Now, this station opened in 1837 and was originally called Hamstead and Great Barr Station. It was actually renamed to just Great Barr by the London and North Western Railway in 1875, before it was finally reverted to its current name of Hamstead in 1974. The station building just down there, the wooden one, is not actually the original station building. It was built in the early 1900s, and there was before it an old brick building. There are some pictures online which I'll put up now. Now, that brick building, for whatever reason, I couldn't find out why, was demolished in the early 1900s and replaced by the wooden one, which we have today. Although it's nice to see that this wooden building is still used as a railway ticket office. Now, the station here only sees 2 trains an hour in each direction, 2 trains an hour towards Wolverhampton via Birmingham and 2 trains an hour to Walsall. The Rugeley Trent Valley services do pass through the station, but they don't stop here. Now, there did used to be a signal box at this station until the electrification in 1966, and the nameplate for that signal box can still be seen if you go to the Chase Water Museum, which is in the Cannock Chase region. Now, the station's proximity near to the River Tame means that it does flood regularly, and there are many examples online of pictures of the station completely flooded due to the fact that it is quite low lying, it's in a cutting, and of course it's near to the River Tame. So during heavy rainfall, the station is usually closed, and there's a train coming through. Anyway, that's it for here at Hamstead. Let's go to the next station along the line of Tamebridge Parkway. Right, well, welcome to Tamebridge Parkway Station. This station opened in 1990 by British Rail, costing £600,000, and takes its name from the nearby river. The station serves several settlements, which I'm going to have to look at on my phone. Yew Tree, the Delves, Friar Park and Stone Cross. I don't know what those places are, but they're around here. The M6 motorway is also just over there. Now, the station actually has a large canal history. There are 4 different aqueducts in this area, including an aqueduct which goes over the station. Although that bridge is not called Tame Bridge, the actual bridge is called Taylor's Aqueduct.
Whilst the aqueduct which goes over the M6 motorway was used in the BBC drama This Town.
The station actually sees the most services of any station on the Chase line, because it also sees 1 train an hour which goes to Shrewsbury and 1 train an hour to Birmingham. Apart from that though, there's not actually a lot to say about this station. It's sort of in the middle of, well, not nowhere, but in the middle of nowhere too relevant. And like a lot of the station on this video, it has a very, very good backdrop of the M6 motorway just over there, which the canal does cross actually on a new aqueduct. Right, it's time to go to the next station, which I believe is Bescot Stadium. Right then, welcome to Bescot Stadium station. Now, this station was originally opened as just Bescot, and it was renamed to Bescot Junction 3 months after opening in 1850. The station lies just east of Bescot Junction, which takes services to Walsall or onwards towards Wolverhampton. The station was finally renamed to Bescot Stadium in 1990 after Walsall FC moved to their new stadium, which is just over there. The station was fully rebuilt in 2007 with a new station building built. The site lies on Bescot Yard, which handles a lot of freight movements. Actually, we just saw some 2 Class 56s pass through the station, which have just gone into the freight yard. In 1966, at its peak, it could move over 4,000 wagons per day. However, it has since depleted a lot since then. Colas Rail, GBRF and Deutsche Bahn Freight, the only operators which run out of here, and Deutsche Bahn have significantly reduced the amount of freight movements. There was Bescot Traction Maintenance Depot, which is literally just over there, and it was maintained by Deutsche Bahn, but actually closed in June 2025 as well. Deutsche Bahn stated it was too old and it would have cost a lot to renovate it. There have been a lot of talks to reopen the site for Class 730s, so West Midlands Railway would move some of their maintenance of the Class 730s to Bescot Stadium. However, Soho Depot and Bletchley Depot have gone through quite a lot of refurbishments and rebuilds to accommodate the new Class 730, so that is all up in the air at the moment. But yeah, it's a very desolate, isolated feel. I mean, there are houses just over there, but if you look on Google Maps, if you want to get to this estate, which is just over there, it's a half-an-hour walk. There's no way to get across from the station to the housing estate. There's a Lidl over there, but yeah, it's very quiet. There was one other person at the station, and they were filming those 2 freight trains which just passed through, and now it's just me. It's a very desolate station, and you know, is it Britain's dullest station? Maybe not, but I think it's definitely up there with its location. So that's my time at Bescot Stadium up. I'm now going to hop on a train to the final station in today's video, which is Walsall. And then after that, in part 2, we'll continue from Walsall up to Rugeley, Trent Valley. So yeah, I'm going to go on my train now.
Walsall Station is the busiest on the Chase line, Barr, Birmingham New Street, with 1.5 million passengers using the station before COVID-19, and was opened in 1849 by the South Staffordshire Railway on the line to Dudley. The station has been rebuilt several times, including in 1883 due to passenger numbers rapidly increasing, and again in 1923 after a fire damaged the old building back in 1916, with World War I delaying the rebuilding process. The Stour Valley line from Dudley to Walsall and northwards closed in 1923, whilst the line north of Walsall was closed to passenger services in 1965, the same day as the Sutton Park branch also lost its passenger services. The line from Walsall to Birmingham was electrified in 1966 and was given a skeleton service to Birmingham until the mid-1980s, when 4 trains an hour were given between Walsall and Birmingham New Street. By the 80s and 90s, passenger service had been restored between Birmingham New Street and Rugeley Trent Valley via Walsall, with there also previously being a direct service between Walsall and Wolverhampton. However, this service was withdrawn in 2008 due to low passenger numbers, however will be reinstated when new stations open on the line. Today the station sees 4 trains an hour into Birmingham. 2 of those come from Rugeley and go to Birmingham International, and 2 of those start from Walsall and go to Wolverhampton. However, they go via Birmingham New Street, so it takes quite a while to do the journey. Avanti West Coast were planning on introducing new direct services between Euston and Walsall, however that was put on hold, and it seems that any plans to bring Avanti services to Walsall have since been quietly shelved. The station itself is relatively close to St Paul's bus station, which opened in the year 2000, and the station today is a relatively modern one.
Now, as you can sort of see behind me, the station does look relatively modern, and that's because It sort of is. The station was rebuilt in 1980 to incorporate the brand new Sadler's shopping centre, which was going to be built on top of the station. And it's kind of sad really, because the old station building was really, really pretty, and now it's just 1980s nothing-y sort of mess. And the whole getting to the platforms is also quite difficult, because to get to this platform you have to literally leave the station and go back round the front to get to this platform. So if it's raining you can't get to this platform under cover. But I mean, the station's okay. It's got step-free access, and I mean, it's, apart from Birmingham New Street, one of just 2 stations on the Chase line to have more than 2 platforms. It's got 3 platforms here, as does Rugeley Trent Valley. But I mean, Walsall itself, if you want a deep dive into Walsall, I did that in my Every West Midlands Boroughs video. I went through the, sort of the history of Walsall, what it's known for, and a lot of facts. So if you're here for Walsall, go watch that video. And whilst that freight train rumbles through Walsall Station, it's time for me to go and hop on a train towards Rugeley Trent Valley, calling it the next station along the line. But that is the end of the video. For you guys, this is the end of part 1 of Secrets of the Chase Line. Make sure you like and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the second part of this mini-series. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode from Witton to Walsall. Of course, also thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members who will be getting their shout out shortly. And well, for now, all I have to say is thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed, see you next time, goodbye.
And of course, a huge thanks to all my YouTube and Patreon members, including my first class members Aaron, Barry and Crispin McKee, my business zone members Andrew Bowen, Anthony Harris, Anthony James Moore, ARK, Connor Grieg, Clive's Travel and Trains, Craig Mitchell 43, Dave CDF, Gordon Walker, Jay Teco, JBNEL, Lewis C21, NJTE, Real, Scott Wheeler, That Transport Girl and Will Ho, as well as all my standard premium and standard class members. You can get your name on this list from as little as £2.99 a month, or join from as little as 99p a month. Once joining, you'll get access to exclusive perks such as members only videos, as well as early access to all my videos. Thanks so much to all my members. Once again, thanks so much for watching this video, I really hope you've enjoyed. Do like, subscribe, check out my Discord server, and follow me on Twitter or Blue Sky. See you next time, goodbye.